What's going on, guys? We're back at it. It's Friday morning. It's the 6th of October. We got finally some UFC fights after a break from last weekend. So that's something exciting to look forward to. But on breaking news, your boy has a big fight coming up, making his game bred debut against Francisco Trinaldo. A very, very, very experienced dog coming out the UFC. The dude was in the UFC for like 10 years, so super experienced, fought the best of the best, beat some of the best, so this is a super, super big challenge, an exciting one at that. Bareknuckle MMA, so in a whole new game, a whole new avenue that I'm gonna experience, what it's going to feel like to get hit with bare knuckles and what it's going to feel like to hit with bare knuckles. Hopefully I don't get hit too much, but, it's going to be fun. I'm excited. And I got some people already messaging me who know me saying I'm crazy, that I'm built different. But, this is kind of shit that excites me. This is like pure form of combat. This is what I started in, bare knuckle and karate and bare knuckle on the streets, So yeah, this is like the real fight. I know a lot of people feel like bare knuckle MMA should be what MMA is. So who knows? It's kind of cool to be a part of the early stages of such a, what's the word I'm looking for? Violent sport. So it's going to be exciting. November 10, Biloxi, Mississippi. If you guys haven't seen the card is super stacked. Dean Toole, the matchmaker for Game Bred, has an incredible ability to put on some absolute bangers. And if you take a look at the other fighters on the card, yeah, you'll be pretty impressed. And I expect fireworks. I don't know what order I'm going to be on the card, but I feel like every fight on that card is interesting and has a sick, potential story to be told in that cage. So yeah, I'm pumped. I hope you guys are pumped. And yeah, ready to go. We got 5 weeks, a little under 5 weeks. And, yeah, I'm ready. I'm feeling good. I'm feeling strong. I'm doing good. Cardio's good. Wrestling a lot. Grappling a lot. It's pretty much all I want to be focusing on is grappling now. Because I assume my opponent will pursue that route. I feel like not a lot of people do enjoy standing up with me. So, unless, he is a dog. That's one thing about him. So I also have a good feeling that he might just want to slug it out too. But I have a feeling that, he comes from a smart gym, smart camp, and he's experienced, right? So they know where I can be beat. At least they think they do. So I think they're going to go that route. So I'm waiting for it. I'm ready for it. And I'm excited. It should be fucking sick. Tune in. Follow the progress. We're going to be having more episodes, of course, but look for more clips. Follow on the social media. I'm going to be doing more training stuff, showing you guys how to wrap hands for bare knuckle. And just emphasizing the training, a lot of the training that I've been doing without gloves, because I had an inkling that I was going to get back into, the bare knuckle world. So I've been working on that, conditioning the knuckles, and just punching inanimate objects on my regular day to day, just to see how the knuckles hold up. And it's just one of those, new experiences that I'm very excited to go through. So follow it. Let me know what you guys think, and we'll keep posting the updates and news as the time gets closer. An update on the homie D-Rod. He's gonna be coming over to Vegas in the next couple days, I believe, possibly this weekend. So he's gonna be helping me get ready for this fight. I'm fighting a potential southpaw. And of course, D-Rod is one of the best southpaws, in my opinion, especially in the UFC. So I'm excited to have him back in the house. Just get fucking after it, practice wise, training wise. He's a great training partner and someone that helps me get better. So yeah, it'll be good. Got a lot of guys at the gym too that are helping me. So yeah, I'm excited, man. I'm excited for this little camp to get going, and follow and check it out. But yeah, up on the news that's coming out for this weekend's card, we're talking the UFC. Main event is Mr. Grant Dawson and Bobby Green. Yeah, low key doesn't seem like a banger card, but when you look into it a little bit more, there's quite a handful of interesting fights. So I'm gonna give you guys what I think. I'm gonna mix in my picks with the for this weekend's UFC. Give you guys a little bit of what I'm thinking in terms of money plays this weekend. If you guys are trying to make some money, there's quite a few fights on here that I see. I wouldn't throw any money at. I'm kind of teetering on the side of safety in that regard. A lot of women's fights in MMA I try to avoid. They don't give me confidence at all in terms of betting. It's tough. You just never know what you're going to get with the ladies. So, the first two ladies fights, I'm not interested in risking any money. Johnny Munoz and Ori Chi-Lang, China versus USA. I'm going to stay away from that fight as well. Don't know what to expect. Johnny Munoz is a good striker. He moves well. He's got the wrestling, he's got the grappling, but Ori Chi-Lang, you just don't know what you're going to get with him. Sometimes he's looking sharp, got that KO power. And, he's coming off of a loss to Zahabi where he got, KO'd. So, he has some wins over my old couple teammates of mine. But I honestly, for this fight, actually, I'm going to take a stab at Johnny Munoz. I'm not going to tell you guys to jump on that. But in my opinion, I think maybe Johnny Munoz gets this done against Ori Chi-Lang. I don't think his level is that high, if I'm being honest with you. He does have the more experience, but I feel like Johnny Munoz might edge this one. One that I'm strong on right here is Mateus Mendonca against Nate Maness. I saw Mendonca on the Contender Series. Super dynamic fighter. Someone that I think is got the potential, to do quite well in the division. He fought Javed Basharat on his UFC debut, which is no easy debut. That's a fact. 13-0. Those brothers work very hard, and they're both very, very high level fighters. So now he's getting Nate Maness. Nate's also a tough guy. He got great boxing. He's fought some really high level guys, but he's currently on a 2-fight win streak. Mind you, they are against Umar Nurmagomedov, who's an absolute monster, and Tagir Ulanbekov. I guess he's pretty good. He's pretty talented, but Mendonca is another one that I think this has got the potential to be a banger. So I'm edging on the side of Mendonca, and I don't know what the line is on that currently, but that's my pick. Not sure where you guys are placing your bets, but that's an option right there. I like Mateus to get it done. So my underdog pick of the day for Saturday is going to be Felipe Lins against Ion Cutelaba. Felipe, Brazilian, has a lot of experience fighting outside of the UFC. He was fighting in the PFL and then came over to the UFC. He's on a 3-fight win streak currently. And he's looked pretty good. In my opinion, I thought he looked pretty good against Maxim Grishin. He also beat Oven St. Preux in the first round, who, again, OSP hasn't really been looking hungry in there. And I know he's retired, but at that time he was, I think that was the last fight of his career potentially. Let me just confirm. Yep, that was the last loss of his career, and he retired. So yeah, that's not the best. But he also has a win over Marcin Prachinho, which is also not a bad win as well. So I just feel like Cutelaba's got like basically the gas tank of a round to go and get what he needs to get done against the guy who I feel like is hard to take down and has good jiu-jitsu. And his striking might slightly be better than Cutelaba's in my opinion. Again, this is my underdog pick because Felipe is plus money. I'm not sure if it's changed since I last saw it, but it's definitely something that I'm interested in. Maybe throw that in a parlay. And you can get some pretty sweet odds with that plus money. So far I'm liking Mendonca and Leans. I'm staying away from Algio and Hernandez. I am not 100% sure on that one. That one can be, hit or miss. Alexander Hernandez sometimes comes out looking amazing and then sometimes doesn't. So Bill Algio is a little bit more experienced. He's always a tough go. He always puts on a scrap. He's coming off a loss as well. He's coming off a win over TJ Brown. He lost in a grappling match. I'm gonna go with Algio on this one. I'm not gonna say put money on it, but I like Algio to get this done over Alexander Hernandez. Next fight, Drew Dober versus Ricky Glenn. I like Drew Dober here. Ricky Glenn is a strong grappler. Pursues the wrestling, I believe, pretty hard, if I'm not mistaken. But he's older, pretty inactive. He did draw with Grant Dawson, which I guess is a pretty good look considering he's main eventing, and then has a loss to Christos Giagos. He lost in the first round, left hook. Drew Dober, tough, very, very tough, good striker, experienced. He's coming off that KO loss to Matt Frivola. He also has a KO win over Bobby Green, who's fighting in the main event. Obviously beat Rafael Alves and Terrence McKinney before succumbing to Matt Frivola. But yeah, this also has the makings of a banger, and I'm going to edge the supermodel Drew Dober. Good looking fellow over there. And then we got Alex Morono and Joaquin Buckley. That's another good fight. Alex Moreno, very experienced, and very talented mixed martial artist. And then we got Joaquin Buckley, very dynamic, as you guys all know, very savage knockout guy. This has the makings of a great fight too. Based on just athleticism and abilities, I like Joaquin Buckley in this fight. He's training with a lot of good people, high level. And I feel like he can bring the power and finish to the fight. Again, these picks today, I'm not like these are lock picks. These are the ones. These are just based on what I feel on the matchup of these two fighters. On all these picks, this is not a card that I'm saying put your life savings on, so please don't do that. But definitely there are some picks here that I feel like might come through. One pick though that I am very confident in, that I feel is a lock, and again, as I said, MMA is so unpredictable. That's why it's so fun. But I really like Joe Pyfer. I think he's really talented. He's also another Vayner Sport guy. Same management team. He came off Contender Series, trains with a bunch of killers over in PA. I think it's in Philly, right? And he's fighting Abdul Razak Al Hassan. He was like a 170 fighter before. He was someone I was interested in fighting potentially as well. Has a judo background and he has some power. But I just like Joe here. He's bigger, longer. I think he's the more skilled fighter in my opinion. Again, Abdul always has the puncher's chance, but I truly feel like Joe will get it done, maybe even by finish. If you wanted to throw in a little prop there, but I like Joe in this one, so that's my lock of the day. I'm going with Joe on that. And then we got the main event, Grant Dawson versus Bobby Green. Grant has looked great. He's like the American Khabib right now. He's able to take guys down and dominate them. And it's been pretty impressive. And he's fighting Bobby Green, who's also a very dynamic striker. Has a wrestling background, but he doesn't wrestle. Obviously, he won his last fight against Tony Ferguson with the arm triangle. I knew for sure that Bobby was gonna win that fight, and then he has that no contest with Jared Gordon because of that headbutt. But if that didn't go the way that it went, it was looking pretty good for Bobby up until that point of the headbutt. So he's technically on a 2-fight win streak, But I think Grant Dawson's too much, man. I think he's gonna get him down, similar to what happened to Bobby when he fought Islam. And I think he has that ability to put it on Bobby Green. So I'm gonna edge, Grant Dawson to get the win on in the main event. I think Bobby Green obviously has the better striking. He's got lower center of gravity, smaller in stature. But I feel like once Grant starts chaining together some moves, I feel like he'll get it done. So I'm confident on that. So we're gonna recap. I got Grant Dawson, Joe Pyfer, Joaquin Buckley, Drew Dober, Bill Algeo, my underdog pick of the day, Felipe Leans, and Mateus Mendonca. And if you need to add another one, just throw Johnny Munoz in there. That's a pretty solid haul right there. You throw, I don't know, $10, $25 or something on that, you might get a solid little payout. I haven't looked at it in terms of generating money, but there's definitely some plays there. So if you guys are, I'm not going to give you guys all the secrets, but these are just my picks. Those are some of the interesting ones I have. How you combine them, how you play them into your parlay is up to you. Again, there's other sports happening too, so you can definitely pick a couple of these guys and throw them in with a football game or a soccer game. So there's definitely some variations there to potentially make some money. And then, of course, there's also Bellator. Nobody would know because they can never freaking promote any of their fighters. It sucks. I have some friends that are Bellator fighters, and I never know they're fighting because I never see anything about Bellator. It's just, it's crickets and it's strange. But we do have Usman Nurmagomedov, that's cousin of Khabib's, fighting against Brent Primus. I can't imagine that this is going to be close in any capacity. Usman will probably get the finish at some point, I believe. But I'm not too stoked about the rest of this card. Honestly, a lot of people I'm not too familiar with. There's 3-0s and 2-0s and 4-0s and 2-2s, and these are the kind of records that are fighting on these cards. So I'm not too familiar with a lot of these guys. A lot of these guys are up-and-comers, wrestlers with big wrestling backgrounds. So, they're going to start to make their way into the MMA scene. We got Chris Cyborg fighting Kat Zingano. It's not the most, exciting fight in my opinion. No idea what you're going to get out of Chris Cyborg or Kat. I wouldn't bet any money on that personally. And then you've also got Liz Carmouche and Limale McFarlane fighting for the flyweight championship as well. It's an interesting fight. Liz has been around forever. She's such a vet. So this is another interesting fight in terms of, who's going to get it. But honestly, this card isn't the most attractive card for the fans, in my opinion. It's not something that I'm like, oh my God, I need to check this out. I need to watch this fight. So if you guys like the fighters on here and you want to see some fights from Bellator, go check them out. Actually, I like Sarah McCann to definitely beat Leah McCourt. So if there's odds on that, I would definitely look at that. But for the most part, this isn't the most attractive card I've ever seen from Bellator. Maybe that's why I'm not seeing anything in terms of promotion from them. It's Bellator 300, so you would think it would be kind of more primo in terms of the fights. But we got two women title fights, and then Nurmagomedov and Primus. So tune in. I'll definitely be waiting to see the results of it. Not something that I'll be like, oh, I need to watch. Oh my God. But that's the update on the two cards, I guess, this weekend. And then we got the NFL this Sunday. There's some games there that I definitely like on Sunday. I like the Bills to get another win. I think the Bills smashing Miami last week was pretty indicative of how good or how high the level the Bills are playing at. I also like the Ravens to win. I like the Lions. I also like the Dolphins and the Chiefs. All right, so that's 1, 2, 3, 4, 5 teams. You throw that in a parlay, I think you're gonna like that. So, let me repeat that again. The Bills will win. The Ravens will win. The Lions will win. Dolphins will win, and the Chiefs will win. Let's hope that happens. Of course, probably one or two of those teams aren't going to win. But let's see. Those are my NFL picks. If you like a couple of those games, throw them in with a couple of the UFC fights. You never know. You might get something really, really good. Nice little combination play and have yourself some money over the weekend from that. So that'll be something I'll be tuning in on Sunday. Looking forward to watching the NFL. Red Zone is my jam. I love watching NFL Red Zone. Very entertaining. No girls ever want to watch that. So, so I'll be chilling on a Sunday with 7 hours, chilling, And then, so update, I guess most people have seen, Dylan Dennis and Logan Paul. Not too sure if that's happening, but I think it's happening. I really want it to happen. I want to see if Dylan Dennis can actually strike, can do anything. I think he might actually beat Logan Paul. I'm not impressed with Logan Paul. Dylan Dennis, it does train with legit people. I know. I have a friend who trains in the same gym as Alex Pereira. He's in that gym over in Connecticut. He comes out and trains with what's his name, Wellington Turman, and Alex Pereira. So he's seen Dylan there. I've spoken to my buddy about Dylan. So I really like Dylan's chances if this fight really happens. But yeah, I'm not sure if they're gonna fill in with Mike Perry, because I think that's gonna be a very, very, very rough night for Logan Paul if he has to fight Mike Perry. So they better be hoping they get Dennis, because you don't want to fight Mike Perry or Logan Paul. Trust me, you don't. You're not a fighter. Like at the end of you're not a fighter. That's it. You're not a fighter. That's just what it is at the end of the day. That's why the Dennis and Logan Paul matchup makes sense. But Dennis is actually a fighter. That's the difference. So let's see how this all goes. This whole suing shit is so gay, so pathetic. Like, whenever have we seen fighters sue each other over talking trash? It's pathetic. Logan Paul Logan Paul is just making himself look worse every day. It's not a good look. I don't know if it's a ploy by him to make the fight not happen legally so that Dylan has to pull out. I don't know. But regardless of what happens, I think Logan Paul's in for a fight, whether it be Dylan Dennis or Mike Perry. But I think he should chill and make sure Dennis gets the fight, because Mike Perry is not going to be playing around at all. He's definitely going to be bringing it. So yeah, hopefully Mike Perry gets the call out. Good for him if he does get the bag. Easiest bag of his whole career. But on to another thing. I don't know if you guys have seen the new David Beckham documentary on Netflix. I tuned into it last night. It was actually pretty dope, man. I'm a big Manchester United fan. Unfortunately, at this time, it's not a good time to be a Manchester United fan. But as a kid growing up, I was big Beckham fan. I love the Spice Girls, as a kid too. So it was pretty crazy to see, it was very nostalgic to see all that stuff, because I remember the games, in '98, at the World, the England at the World Cup, and then '99 when Manchester United won the treble. So I remember those games. I remember watching them. I remember being up at 3 a.m, to watch Champions League, and getting any opportunity I could to watch them play. And back in those days, we didn't have phones, we didn't have computers like we do today. So it was you would do everything you could to watch those games and get in the bars or wherever they were showing them to watch. So it was cool to see all that on the Netflix documentary. And there's a little bit of social media stuff going around, how Beckham puts Victoria in her place, as she's trying to say her family were middle class, hardworking, and he it disrupts, breaks into the interview. Basically, he's like, Victoria, tell him the truth. What car did you drive? What car did your dad drive you to school in? And she's trying to make excuses not to the answer, make the answer, and he keeps saying it what car? What car did you drive? She's like, in the 80s we had a Rolls Royce. And yeah, so anyone that has a Rolls Royce is definitely not coming from a blue collar, upbringing, so Rolls Royce is especially in the 80s, is fucking on some elite level shit. So it was funny to see like David Beckham put her in her place. She is named Posh Spice for a reason, right? So it was pretty cool to see that, behind the scenes. And David Beckham is the owner of Inter Miami, where Messi is. So for you American fans that don't really follow football, soccer, whatever you want to call it, yeah, nah, definitely, it's a cool documentary to check out. And yeah, definitely, if you have some time, I would take a look. So, all right. So moving on to our Twitter clips and stupidity of the day. This video right here that you're about to see is it's interesting, man. Like I said, almost every day I feel like the stupidity can't outbeat the previous stupidity that I've seen. But this guy right here, man, he's in a Little Caesars, and he's just blatantly committing robbery. It's Little Caesars, so it's like, can you think how much money could possibly be in that cashier? And then not only that, this dude is also, why don't you just pretend to pay for something? And then when they open the register, you can just take the money of the $60. If you watch the full clip, it's actually really, really hilarious how the workers at Little Caesars are telling them, there's only $60 in there, man. And then they're like, don't touch anything, so they can get his fingerprints. And then he runs back in and he tries to clean the fingerprints with his shirt while this is all being recorded. And he's still trying to take more money. Yeah, no, this is it's bad, man. Like, it's really bad, when you got to start breaking into Little Caesars. We all know, like, Little Caesars is like hood pizza. So, like, how much money could they possibly have in there? And this dude's full out just trying to... But I'm not surprised the employees aren't doing nothing either. Like, they're like, fuck this shit. I ain't got to worry about this Little Caesars job. Like, I ain't risking my life for that shit for $60, So, yeah, this guy probably goes down as one of the most impressive robbers I've ever seen. He got a do-rag on, white boy. They'll probably identify him as, African-American. Who knows? But yeah, one of the stupidest things I've ever seen. But I wonder if anything will happen to this guy. I wonder if they'll catch him. He's probably living that, that luxury life of the $60 brings. Probably ordered some Little Caesars after. That would have been pretty fucking ironic if he went and ordered Little Caesars, came back without the do-rag and got like a full pizza. Shit, that would be fucked. But yeah, another interesting day in America. It's just can't be beat. Hopefully every week we can try to up these videos. But yeah, that was an interesting one for sure. Definitely not one that I would recommend if you're trying to make some money or just become a career criminal. Go aim big. Go for the stars. You don't go for the $60 shit. Rob a bank. Go big or go home. That's the life that I like to live. So yeah, another thing that I noticed, I'm sure every one of you guys have noticed, it's like one of the stupidest things that I personally think I see, to add to the other stupidity, is these protesters for oil, climate protesters for all that kind of stuff. They glue themselves to like the street. They glue their hands on the ground. They sit on the street in front of the stop traffic. I don't understand what they're doing. Because, like, if, for example, you stop traffic, all those cars are idling and, if anything, giving off more emissions. So, if anything, by them doing this creates more of what they don't want. So, it's very contradictory and strange, and, like, I don't see how it affects anything that they're trying to push. But if I could give them some advice, if they really, really cared about, like, climate change and pollution, and they wanted like to see, a positive result or at least have a positive impact in their message, they should all just go to China and protest in China. That's where the most amount of pollution is coming out of in the world. It's a fact. It's because everything you're wearing and using is from China. So obviously, by sitting on the road in Arizona or sitting on the highway in Germany, or standing on the streets of England, like none of that is gonna do anything. It just doesn't make any sense to me. It's not logical. It's illogical. It's probably mental illness. For what we see nowadays, it's very, 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 very common. Mental illness is like on the high. Most politicians have it. Most people that we see talking on a daily basis are all morons and have mental illness. So these are just like commonalities that we're going to continue to see. Nothing makes sense. There's no common sense. Common sense is almost like racist or sexist or misogynistic. Common sense is like number one enemy of these people. So you have to make sure, to align yourself with common sense, because all that other stuff is just a waste of time. So yeah, it's strange. These people must not have jobs. They must not have anything better to do than to sit on the street and hold up a sign. And they're all, look at them. They're on camera. They're getting filmed by people. They're going viral. So maybe this is their way of feeling like they're important, which is super sad. Like, because genuinely, who gives a fuck? Like, bro, if you're sitting on the road, like, I want nothing to know anything about you. Like, there's no point. Waste of energy. And that's why we live in a clown world. Like, these motherfuckers could be productive doing something to help the world. They could be going to China and protesting, or go to North Korea and go deal with them. Go let them know that what they're doing is wrong. But no, they're gonna go lie on the street and get a couple viral clips and go eat some vegan meat and go poop in a bucket or something. I don't know, but yeah, these people are a waste of time, and they're not doing nothing for me. And whenever I see that stuff, it just makes me cringe. And it's like, what a waste of potential. There's so much potential in the human, and you're going to just go sit on the street and do nothing. You're basically a homeless person. And I think even homeless people are more productive than these people. So yeah, it's wild, but that's the world we live in. And we're going to finish this off with one more clip that I saw. I want to know what you guys think about this. Yeah, so we got this fella. I believe he's at a baseball game. I'm not sure. I think it's in Canada, actually. It looks like maybe the Blue Jays. I see some Blue Jay jerseys. Man kisses his girl, gets on one knee, and gives her the ring pop. And she immediately responds by smacking him in the face and throwing her drink in him. I don't know if this is an act. I don't know. Nowadays it's hard to tell if this shit's for real. This could 100% be a setup. It wouldn't surprise me, actually. But at the same time, maybe this guy literally thought this was going to be funny. And then who knows, maybe he had the real ring in his pocket, and he was just going to be like, haha, and then give her the real ring. Like, there was potential for that, but she immediately was just like, nah, fuck no, bitch slap. And then I'm going to throw my drink in your face. And to be honest with you, on her reaction, like from seeing the ring pop, like, when she says, the fuck is wrong with you? Like, there's some, like, I see some anger there. Like, I feel like that otherwise she's a really good actress, but I feel like she's fucking pissed. But I do also see a dude in the back with a camera. He's like holding a camera. So I don't know if this guy like had that set up to be like, oh, I'm proposing to my girl, like, please film it. Because that also is a little bit weird. So there's just so many like hard angles to know if this is a real video or not. But let's just say it is real. How would you guys like handle this situation? Like, if your girl's listening, would you be like ready to smack this fool and throw your drink at him? Or would you hopefully wait like a minute before you did that so that you could see if he was joking and then you would get a ring out of it? So yeah, let me know what you guys think. I thought it was pretty funny. If this is real, that's super embarrassing, I think, for both of them. I think the guy's probably like, shit, this bitch crazy. But who knows? Are they still together? Is this shit serious? Does anyone know? Yeah, I'm super interested to know. I think it's a funny clip. It's going viral. I've seen it on a couple social medias now, so thought I would talk about it. Yeah, not what I would do personally. With the ring pop, but maybe this dude's just a funny guy and he's just trying to make light of the situation. So who knows? Maybe somebody does. Maybe we'll find out soon. It's probably a fucking fake video. But yeah, those are some of the clips that I came across today. yeah, and then we got obviously the follow up with my fight announcement with Bareknuckle MMA, Game Bread, Francisco Trinaldo at 170 in 5 weeks. November 10, we getting down. And then yeah, we have the UFC this weekend. Remember to take a look at those picks, see what you like, throw them all together. And then we got that Bellator 300 card, which is like, yeah. And then we got the NFL games. I already gave you my picks on the NFL games. Let me know what you guys think. And yeah, have a good weekend. Trying to bust these out. As you see, we're getting them out pretty regularly. So yeah, stay tuned. Like, subscribe, share, let people know. Okay. And expect to see more content. Expect to see more information and stuff coming out. And hopefully the homie is going to be back soon. So we'll have a good episode running down with D-Rod. And yeah, otherwise, thanks you guys for tuning in. Be good. Pieces.